What's up, everybody out there? This is Aaron here with another deck profile. Here with one of my decks, my Dark World deck. Dark World is a deck I haven't seen played as much anymore. Very fun. This deck requires playing from your hand and from the graveyard. Pretty interesting. So, Dark World. Their main boss monster here is the Grapha. So, it's a fun deck. Like I always say, fun decks is what I run. I don't care about those expensive $1,000 cards or just the actual whole Yu-Gi-Oh deck that may cost, I don't know, like I just said, $1,000, $500. I don't care. That's not me. So, Dark World. Further ado, and I will explain always end combos of what this deck does. So, the boss monster of the deck, the 3 Grapha. Grapha is a 27 attacker. You can special summon this card from your graveyard by returning one face-up Dark World monster you control to the hand, except Grapha, the Dark Lord of Dark World. If this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, target one card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Then, if this card was discarded from your hand to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, look at one random card in your opponent's hand. Then, if it was a monster, you can special summon it on your side of the field. So basically, most likely, you want to try to get Grapha in your graveyard. So, Grapha. You're going to want to run the Snow. The Snow is, if this card was discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if this card was discarded from your hand to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard. Add one Dark World card from your deck to your hand. Then special summon that target in face-up defense position. Now, most likely you're not going to really do that. Basically, you just really want the effect of, you want to discard Snow by a card effect to get anything that's called Dark World from your deck to your hand. Basically, it's your searcher to get any Dark World card, whichever, as long as it's called Dark World. Here we go, the Brow, the Dark World. If this card was discarded from your grave to the graveyard by a card effect, draw one card, plus another card if this card was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect. So basically, it helps you draw more cards in the deck. Hopefully you don't deck out, because a lot of this deck makes you draw a lot of cards, but the cards you draw is going to help you with the deck. Now, a lot of people who played Dark World before, or I don't know if they still do, I don't know if they play this, but the gold, most likely they would say it's too much running 3, or they just run 2. But me, I like running 3, and sometimes I really get lucky about still using this. So, gold. If this card was discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, if it was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target up to 2 cards your opponent controls. Special summon this card from the graveyard. Then destroy those 2. Now basically, if it was discarded by a card effect, it gets thrown to the graveyard, but then special summons from the graveyard. That's the gold. Now, the silver. The silver is, if this card was discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, special summon it from the graveyard. So yeah, just like the gold, it would be special summoned. Now, if this card was discarded from your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, your opponent returns exactly 2 cards from their hand to the bottom of the deck in any order they wish to. So yeah, they are going to choose of what they want, but they're going to lose a couple cards from their deck. So you never know. Basically, they only have 2 cards in their hand. You just made them lose those 2 cards, and they're going to go back to the bottom of the deck. So those could have been cards that they needed, but you just sent them right back to the bottom of the deck. So you just stopped them completely. Now, to beige. Beige. If this card was discarded from the hand to the graveyard by a card effect, special summon this card. Not bad. And last but not least, this card came back. Morphin Jar. It's a flip effect, so most likely you want to have this face down. Both players discard their hands, then both players draw 5 cards. So most likely sometimes it's going to help you. Most likely with the cards in your hand, you're going to special summon whatever, search whatever, draw cards, destroy, and you're going to draw another 5 cards. So basically, again, you're going to be drawing a lot of cards. You're going to be using a lot of cards. So it's most likely a +2, as I could say. Special summoning, destroying, searching, I don't know, and then drawing. Okay, we got the magic cards. Gates of Darkworld. Field spell of the deck. All fiend type monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn you can banish 1 fiend type monster from your graveyard, discard 1 fiend type monster, then draw a card. So the field spell of your fiends gaining 300 attack more, and if you need to, banish 1, discard 1 card from your hand. Basically, of course, it could be one of the cards to search, destroy, special summon, and still you're going to draw a card. So again, like a +2. Get an effect, special summon, destroy, search, and just draw another card. Most likely that's your searcher to throw away snow, and you want to get your gates from the deck to your hand if you don't have gates in your hand yet. The staple of a Darkworld deck, Darkworld Dealings. Each player draws 1 card, then each player discards a card. So yeah, like all the Darkworld, discard. So you're gonna draw, discard. Now, the thing that might suck is you're gonna give your opponent also a card. They're gonna discard, but it might have been something that they needed, and there might be a card in their hand that they don't need, so they would just discard that, possibly. Gateway to the Dark World. Quick magic card. Quick play. Target 1 Dark World monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. You cannot summon other monsters the turn you activate this card. Almost like a Monster Reborn, except it's a quick play. So you can even do it on your opponent's turn if you wish to. If you need monsters. Now here we go. Drag down into the grave. One of the awesome spell cards for a discarding deck, which is, yeah, Dark World. Reason of that, both players reveal their hands. Each chooses 1 card from their opponent's hands. Then you discard the chosen cards from both players' hands. Then both players draws a card. Now the reason of that, you're making your opponent do the effect. So just like any of the other rather the snow, the silver, gold, or the grapha, it's an opponent's card effect. So even if they chose one of those cards, you're gonna draw a card, and then you get the effect of what happens if an opponent chooses one of those cards, and you draw a card. So let's just say you have 2 cards in your hand only. Drag down into the grave. They have to choose. Let's just say it was the silver, gold, brown, grapha. Discard that, special summon, and then the effect, the second effect of what happens if it's an opponent's card effect. Drag down into the grave. This came back. Card destruction. Each player discards their entire hand, then draw the same number of cards that they discarded. Again, you're discarding the cards, you're gonna get their effects, and you're gonna draw as many as you threw away. So if you only had 1, okay, but if they had an effect of drawing, special summoning, destroying, searching, okay, get the effect. If it was a search, so snow, get your search for snow, and then since you had 1 card in your hand and that was the card discarded and it was only 1, draw another card. Foolish Barrier. Now Foolish Barrier is particularly the one you want to try to get already so you could throw away grapha into the graveyard. One Raigeki, 1 Dark Hole, and a tech card for this deck. It's an old magic card that I used to use and I just decided to play it again. The Cheerful Coffin. You can discard up to 3 monster cards from your hand to the graveyard. Now, Cheerful Coffin, discard 3 cards. So let's just say 3 cards in your hand. Hopefully you could throw your silver, grapha and all. Well then there you go. 3 cards. So let's just say you only had 4. Maybe your gates and you had 3 monsters. Throw away those monsters. Rather if it was special, destroy, search, again, draw, and then you still have your gates. Well then there you go. As for traps now, three deck devastation viruses. Now the reason why I play this: tribute 1 dark monster with 2000 or more attack. Check your opponent's hands. All monsters they control and all cards they draw until the end of their 3rd turn after this card's activation, and destroy all monsters with 15 attack or less attack. Most likely they're hand trap monster cards like the Ash Blossom, the Ghost Ogre. Who knows? All of them are lower than 15 attack, so you just wipe those cards out of their hands. Most cards that they play, it could be just, I don't know, tech cards, 15 attack or less. Most of them are 15 attack or less, so you just threw them away. And you're still gonna see what they have. So even if you knew they had Mirror Forces, Solemn Strikes, anything you could possibly think of. Raigeki, Dark Hole, they're playing Light Sworns. Okay, you saw they had Judgment Dragon. You saw they have Honest? No, but Honest gets thrown away because that's an 1100 attacker. And it's lower than 15. So you could say like, okay, they have Judgment Dragon, so you gotta be wise about it. So let's just say, yeah, I said Judgment Dragon. Well then if you have Dark World Dealings, okay, then make them draw, and hopefully that's what they have to throw away. So you stop them. So yeah, deck devastation virus I would use, because even if they draw, they have to draw and you get to see what it is. If it's a monster, 15 attack or less, they go to the graveyard. If it's a magic or trap, well then you still get to see for until the 3rd turn, so you know what you're up against. And Quaking, Storming, and the regular Mirror Force. So That's the deck. Now, here we go. Let's just say your hand was Snow, Grapha, Raigeki, Deck Devastation Virus, Dark World Dealings. Your 5 cards. Your draw. Is a gold. What can you do here? Okay, you have different plays you can do. If you were going second, most likely you want to go Raigeki if you can hit any targets on your opponent. So basically monsters. If they can be targeted, okay, destroy them. Some might say, I don't know, you can't destroy them? Well then, you're possibly stuck right there. But here's another thing you can do. Go Dark World Dealings. So you're going to draw another card. Okay, so Dark World Dealings, you played. And you got Gates. That was your draw. So, what I would do, throw away your Grapha. Destroy something on the field, because that's by Grapha's effect. Okay, that's in the graveyard. This is still your hand. What's next? Gates. Play. Virus, Raigeki, Gold, Snow. What to do next? Possibly just go Raigeki. Still your 3 cards. Set Deck Devastation Virus. Okay. What's next? I would go with Snow, so you can summon one. Here's the cool thing. Let's bring this back to your hand. You have a Dark World on the field. Put it back to your hand. Special summon. Grapha. 27? No, not 27. All gain 300. 3,000. Nothing happened. Draw. Mirror Force. So, Mirror Force. Trap cards, you want to set them. Snow again. Now, okay. Deck Devastation Virus. 2,000 or more attack. You see 17? It's not 17. Gate to the Dark World. So you can sacrifice your Snow. Graveyard. You look for 3 turns what they have in their hand. You only have gold. Use the effect. Banish the Dark World. Throw away the gold. Graveyard. Special summon. Draw. You got Foolish Burial. Activate Foolish Burial. Throw away Grapha. Graveyard. Snow back. Another Grapha. Their turn. See what they have. That was their second turn. So Deck Devastation Virus still goes. You draw? Okay, drag down into the grave. Activate. You only got one card. Yeah, it's done by an opponent's card effect. Send away. Special summon. Select 2 cards on their field. Destroy them. And you draw another card. Gateway to the Dark Lord. That's what you drew. Just said it. Their third turn, you see what they still got? Nothing? Okay. Your draw. Brow. Mirror Force face down. Gateway face down. So you still have high monsters right here. You still have gates. And you have brow. So hopefully you still got hits you can do. If they're destroyed by, I don't know, okay. They're destroyed. Remember you still have brow. Hopefully Mirror Force can help you. No monsters. Gateway. Bring out Scraffa. So you have a monster out. Brow. Your draw. Dark Will Dealings. Now you could say do Dark Will Dealings already. No, I wouldn't do that. Summon out the brow. Put brow back to your hand. Just summon again the Grapha. Now Dark Will Dealings. Your draw was a Silva. You can rather throw away it, get special summoned, or throw away the brow and draw another card. Your draw was a Stormy. So Stormy, Silva, you have in your hand your 2 Graphas, your Gates of Dark World, and you still have all this right here. Now, okay. What you can still do, draw another card for Dark World Dealings. So, discard possibly the brow, actually remove it. Draw into a beige. That was your draw. And you discard a card, so discard Silva, special summon Silva. Set Storming. You haven't even almost summoned yet. 4 cards. Monsters right here. Huge things like that. And with Gates still out, 3,000, 3,000, 19, 26. So, let's say a card destruction in your hand. You had a beige. You had a snow. Let's just say it's just these 3 you have. Card destruction. So you're only gonna have 2 cards of a draw, but beige, special, snow, search. Okay, maybe, yeah, Gates is most likely what you're gonna want to go for. But those were 2 cards you threw away. Draw 2. So let's just say it was Morphin Jar and Quaking you got. So most likely Quaking face down. Gates you played. Now Now again, morphin jar has to be set. So most likely when you're playing, they're always gonna think, they're possibly gonna know already it's morphin jar. So again, morphin jar, you flip or they attack, you're gonna get flipped up, draw 5 cards. Now when you're playing against an opponent, they're always gonna know particularly it's morphin jar face down. But sometimes what you can do, use other monsters you know you could put them face down as well. So sometimes you could trick your opponent. You haven't even have morphin jar. You just have this face down. They don't want to attack because they know it's possibly going to be morphin jar. No, flip. Oh my goodness, it was not morphin jar. It was your beige. Let's just say morphin jar was in your hand. You just wanted to trick your opponent. Well then, okay, Grapha, morphin jar. Beige. You draw. Dark World Dealings. Dark World Dealings. You drew into a Mirror Force. Okay. Throw away Grapha. Graveyard. Destroy a card due to the effect of Grapha. Put beige back to your hand. Special summon Grapha. So, morphin jar, Mirror Force, beige in your hand. 27? No, not 27, because you still have gates. 3,000. You draw. Okay, Cheerful Coffin. You can discard up to 3. So it doesn't have to be exactly 3. It could be as many as you want, up to 3. So it could just be 1 if you wish to. Okay, you just have this in your hand, but you have face down Quaking. So maybe you just want to pause right there. So still, you can set down your regular Mirror Force. Put face down your morphin jar. Cheerful Coffin. Quake your Mirror Force if you need to. Now here's another thing you can do. Put this face down. Goes in. Okay. Morphin jar. Throw away to the graveyard. Special summon it. Here are 5 cards. Silva. Deactivation Virus. Gates. But you have another Gates already right here. And you just drew another Gates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your 5 cards out of Morphin Jar. 1 card had to be thrown away, which is your beige, but it gets special summoned. You still have your Graph out. You have another Gates out. You still have your Gates out. You just drew another Gates out of the 5 cards. And Deactivation Virus. Now, you can flip up your Cheerful Coffin. Send away up to 3. Basically, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1. Special summon. Due to the effect of when it gets thrown to the graveyard, it gets special summoned by a card effect. Silva, same thing. 3. But due to the effect of brown, when it's done by a card effect, draw a card. Now let's just say you drew a Grapha. Now do the effect of Gates. Banish. Throw away Grapha. Destroyed. Put beige back to your hand. Special summon Grapha. So yeah, 4 monsters right there. Now, okay, let's just say you wanted to draw again. Play another gates over your first gates of Dark World. So it's a new gates, so you can do the effect again. Now you have Morphin Jar, a gold. Okay, maybe you want to throw away your gold. Activate gates. Throw away a card. Okay, beige, beige, special. Your draw. Let's just say, okay, you drew Dark Hole. You have your Mirror Force face down. Let's see, yeah, you did have a Mirror Force face down. Deck Divination Virus you possibly want to set. Now, okay, so Dark Hole. You have all these out. Gates. Gates increases them, so 26, 3,000, 3,000, 26, 19. You got a good 5 monsters right there, and a huge board right there, and a huge attacks right there. And if you need to, you want to stop your opponent from doing anything, virus them. So you can throw away Silva, yeah. And you're gonna get to see what your opponents have. You have your Mirror Force for your backup. You have Dark Hole. And there you go. The reason why I use Virus is because even if you're throwing away your Graphas, you have your ways of your Gateway bringing it out, or you can use your Dark Worlds, put them back to your hand, special summon it, and then you have good plays right there of, let's just say you only have Dark World Dealings, that's your only card. But with the effect of bringing these back to bring out Grapha, well then there you go, there's your play right there, Dark World Dealings. Your draw. Was, I don't know, you can think of whatever. Let's just say it was Storming, but you can discard one, throw away the beige, graveyard, special summon. You only had one Grapha, but you had another Grapha in the graveyard. Let's say it was that. And you have gold. Put back to your hand. Special summon the other Grapha. So, Dark from your hand from the graveyard to the field. So both most likely you're gonna play with your hand and play what's in the graveyard. That's how Dark World plays. And then Deck Divination Virus. There you go. You're gonna see what your opponent has. So even if you threw away, yeah, Grapha, you could also throw away the Snow because it's 17, but with gates, it makes it 2,000. So that's my Dark World deck. Hope you all enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. Show you more deck profiles later. Peace.